Salam! Welcome to the Thai Cooking Show. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Kuku Sabzi or Persian Herb Frittatas. Kuku Sabzi is an egg-based Persian dish similar to frittata with just enough egg to bind the ingredients together. All the ingredients are chopped and added to the beaten eggs before baking or cooking. Kuku is a common name of the vegetarian Persian dishes in Iran, although a few kukus have meat in their recipes. Sabzi also means herb. The herbs are mainly included in this kuku sabzi are parsley, cilantro, fenugreek, and also garlic. Some recipes call for barberries and walnut, which are optional. I like to add them because barberry or zershek in Farsi will provide the sourness and walnut will provide the extra crunchiness to your kuku sabzi. If you want to make your own kuku sabzi and you have some leftover herbs in your fridge, you can just mix them with the eggs and develop your own flavor. But please try not to be too diverted from the ingredients that has been listed in this recipe. In Iran, we eat the kuku sabzi mainly during the Nowruz as a Persian New Year because kuku sabzi has eggs and herb, and eggs is symbolizing the fertility, and herbs is symbolizing the rebirth. And the other thing is that make sure to dry all of your herbs before cutting them, because if they're not dry, your chopping board will be green. And unfortunately, we cannot use any food processor in this recipe, because if you use a food processor tend to make your herbs mushy and release all of the water from them. We don't want that. And make sure you sharpen your knife, and the finer you chop, the greener your kuku sabzi will be. By the way, don't forget to like this video and support my channel by subscribing, because I really need your support to grow my channel. Let's start it. We start by chopping our herbs. In this recipe, I am using fresh garlic. I know, it is hard to find it in the US, but you can simply replace it with garlic cloves and adjust the eggs accordingly to the ratio of herbs. After washing your garlic, you want to cut the roots and inspect it green, and cut any yellow parts and toss them. Finely dice both the green and white parts of the garlic herb. Cut them around 1/2 centimeter or 1/4 of an inch lengths. I like to chop the white part smaller than the green parts as well. We want to have about a cup of fresh garlic herb in the end. Garlic herb is an unripened garlic that has been picked in the spring. It is herby and has a mellower flavor than traditional garlic. You have to try it and you will be in love with it. Then we start by chopping our garlic chives. If you cannot find garlic chives, you can replace it with green onions. Cut them the same size as you cut the garlic herb, about 1/2 centimeter or 1/4 of an inch, as you can see here in this video. In fact, most of the ingredients and measurements here are pretty loose. I recommend using a generous amount of at least 3 different herbs, but otherwise you can adjust the quantities and ratios depending on what you have on hand. We want about 2 cups of garlic chives or green onions for this recipe. For the dill, remove any woody parts first and inspect the herb before cutting to remove any yellow parts. After removing all the woody parts, then take a large handful or 2 at a time and roll into a tight ball. Run a large sharp knife through the ball and cut them in half. Bring the 2 parts together, then continue to chop the ball of dill until very finely chopped. If you cannot find fresh dill, add 2 to 3 tablespoons of dry dill and adjust the eggs accordingly. We want to have about 2 cups of fresh dill in this recipe. Then we start by chopping our parsley. Like the dill, we remove the woody parts first. After that, with a sharp knife, we start to chop the parsley. Make a ball of herbs by grabbing a handful amount of herbs and start to chop the parsley like how you chop the dill. We want the thickness to be 1/2 centimeter or about 1/4 inch as you see in the video. 1 cup of parsley is enough for this recipe. Cilantro will be chopped the same as the parsley. Cut off the woody parts, but don't throw them away. You can freeze them and use them for making stocks. Cut them about 1/2 centimeter or about 1/4 inch as you see here in the video. We need 1 cup of cilantro for making Kuku Sabzi in this recipe. Spinach needs to be chopped finely as well. We use 2 cups of spinach to make our Kuku Sabzi. You can easily change the ratio and replace the herbs you don't have with what you have in your fridge. Chives or green onion with dill are the must-have herbs needed to be included into Kuku Sabzi. When you are confident in making Kuku Sabzi, start being creative and try to create your own flavor with mixture of herbs. Fenugreek is used to give a special aroma and flavor to Kuku Sabzi. We don't add fenugreek too much, otherwise it will make your Kuku Sabzi bitter. Only 1/3 cup is enough to do its magic. If you can find fenugreek, you can use dried fenugreek instead, and 2 tablespoons will be enough to use as a replacement. Make sure, if you are using dried herbs, to adjust the eggs accordingly. And here is the dried fenugreek I just wanted to show you. Now we crack 6 eggs for making Kuku Sabzi. Add the spices to the eggs and whisk or mix until they are fully incorporated. You need to beat the eggs for approximately 5 to 7 minutes so that you can get a fluffy Kuku Sabzi. This is an important step. We start by adding 1 teaspoon black pepper. If you like it spicier, you can add more. I add 1 teaspoon of salt, but this is depending on your taste. After that, we add 1 teaspoon of onion powder along with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder to the eggs. Iranians love turmeric, and turmeric is used in so many dishes. Therefore, we add 1 teaspoon of turmeric to the mixture as well. Then, 1 teaspoon of cumin is added to the eggs, and it is good to know that cumin is believed to have been first cultivated in Eastern Mediterranean. I like to add 1 teaspoon of paprika as well, but this spice is not an authentic ingredient. You can add any spices you like and remove any spices that are in the list if you wish not to use them. 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour will be added to the egg mixture to bind everything well together. Beat the mixture until there are no lumps in the mixture. After that, add the herbs in multiple stages and mix well. The final consistency should look like what you see in the video. If you feel it needs more egg, you can add 1 more egg and check the consistency. This stage is optional. You can add some crunch to your Kuku Sabzi with the addition of walnuts. Chop the walnuts to the desired size and add them to the batter and mix well. Preheat the oven to 375 Fahrenheit and heat up your pan. You can preheat it in the oven or, like me, use the stovetop. Then add the oil. I added about 3 tablespoons of olive oil to the heated pan and add half of the herb batter to the heated pan as well. Then use the spatula to spread it evenly while applying a little pressure to the batter. As you see, I am adding 1 cup of washed dried barberries to the middle of Kuku Sabzi. I like to give a sour flavor to the Kuku Sabzi, and if you mix the Kuku Sabzi with barberries earlier with the walnuts, while cooking the Kuku Sabzi, the barberries on the bottom of the pan will burn, giving you a bad taste to your Kuku Sabzi. So I add them in the middle to avoid burning the barberries, then cover the barberries with the rest of the herbs mixture. Transfer the pan to the oven and cook for 15 minutes covered. After 15 minutes, remove the lid and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. You can use broiler to broil the top, or like me, go traditional and cut them in triangular pieces and flip them on a stovetop and fry the top with a little extra oil on medium heat for 1 to 2 minutes to provide an extra crunch. Or skip this step and serve after cutting your slices. To make this part easier, you can just quarter or half the Kuku Sabzi before frying and finish the cutting after the frying step. Kuku Sabzi is traditionally served with flatbread and a selection of crunchy and acidic condiments to balance the sweetness of the herbs. Radishes and chopped eggplant pickles, called lite, and chunks of soft, salty feta cheese with tzatziki can be eaten with Kuku Sabzi as well. My favorites are pickled cucumber and tomatoes, along with ketchup. Yum! This tastes so good! We watched how to make the Kuku Sabzi, and I showed you how I like to eat this with the flatbread, with the tomato pickles. And it's just this Kuku Sabzi can be eaten by itself or as a side dish. And yogurt will go great with the Kuku Sabzi as well. And you can just eat this with the rice, with the Persian basmati rice, and with some yogurt, and have your vegetarian dish. And enjoy this really delicious herby creation. And also, it means a lot if you share this video with your friends and family and help me to grow my channel. And let's see how this delicious tastes. It's so good, herby. I really like the sourness from the barberries, and I really like the crunchiness from the walnut. The other thing, if you are looking for the recipe are in the description part, and you just need to click it on everything that has been written over there. And also about the barberries, I just want to mention that some recipes, they just add the barberries while they were adding the walnut, and they just mix everything together. But the main reason I wanted to have the barberries in the middle section is that barberries just tends to go down, and while you're mixing all of them at the same time, you will have the barberries burnt in the bottom. We don't want that, right? So that's why I said that divide your batter into sections and add your barberries in the middle. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and help me to grow my family. And see you in the next video. Stay tuned. Bye.